What's happening, Amazing Race fans? This is Amazing Reviews, here to review episode 8 of the Amazing Race in Slovenia. Joining me tonight from Arizona, Calbert. Calbert,
what's going on? What's going on, everybody?
Unfortunately, Goldberg was scheduled to be on. He was on, but unfortunately, he got some news. So he's dealing with some family issues. So he may make it, but I wouldn't hold our breath. So he's got some stuff he's got to deal with. So hopefully he can join us next week. But we will review this crazy, wild episode. That was episode 8 of Amazing Race. A lot of stuff happened. Calbert, I mean, you probably watching. There was a lot of twists and turns in this thing.
Yes, there was. For a country that they'd never been to. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm really shocked, honestly, that they've never been to Slovenia. What do you think the reason why they never went to this country? As far as I know, at least since it's been founded, I don't know if they've been in a lot of wars or anything. I don't think it's a dangerous place. So I'm really wondering what took them so long to get here.
I think they were just, they were trying something new, and, they threw the dart at the board and went, oh, okay, Slovenia, that sounds good. Because, how many times can you go to Germany, right? So
yeah, I'm wondering, maybe it's just kept forgetting about it,
right?
And it just kind of kept getting, tossed aside, and then all of a sudden we're 35 years into this thing, or seasons,
right?
And wait, we never been to here,
Yeah.
So, or maybe Luka Doncic, maybe like, oh, this guy's from Slovenia, and they're like, oh, okay, maybe we should go there,
Right.
So anyways, but all right, let's start off here. Let's kind of run through the episode, and because there's really a lot to talk about. So we had teams coming out of the last leg, really, and we had some kind of some drama at the ticket office to get on the flights, and Robin Corey and Todd and Ashley, they were going to kind of risk it and say, hey, we'll do standby, and it paid off for them.
I couldn't believe they got on. I don't know how much flying you've done. Anytime I've tried to do standby, it never works out. I haven't done a whole lot of international traveling, but I was really surprised that actually paid off for both of those teams. I was like, wow, they're doing standby. Wow, it worked.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised too that they're just, obviously they wanted to get the leg up. I understand that, but it's a big risk if it doesn't work out.
Which we find out a little bit later on that the argument could be made.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, let's talk about that first flight then. Greg and John, Todd and Ashley, Robin Corey, and Robin and Chelsea, they're both on this flight, and they kind of make the decision. Or wait, maybe Robin and Chelsea weren't on that?
Robin and Chelsea were not on that one. Not the first flight.
But that's really weird, right? Weren't they second coming out of last leg?
They were, yeah.
Did they get lost? I can't remember what happened.
Yeah, they got lost.
Oh, okay, and that kind of backed them up. Okay. Yep. That makes sense then. Because I was really wondering, how did this happen? But yeah, that explains it. I think though that those three teams, do you think they should have stayed on the train and tried to risk it, even though they were gonna miss it unless you know how time can change though, right?
I would have. Because and that's just it. That was the whole gamble. The gamble was, okay, it's realistically 10 minutes. But if we don't make it, that train leaves without us 5 minutes later.
Yes.
So I would have just stayed on the train.
Yeah.
Myself.
What would have been the worst thing? Would they have not been able to get a train right away? Would they have had to wait even longer?
They would have had to wait. Yeah, they were gonna have to wait, and it was all about the timing. because if the timing was off even by a couple minutes, the layover part, it was all about the layover. The layover was the deciding factor, because if the layover was longer than 10 minutes, they were going to actually miss the connecting train that they needed to get on to go to go. So, but I would have stayed.
Yeah,
because I'm already there.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I think it would have. Who knows what would have happened, right? Like, right. I don't know what would have happened, but it would have been fun to see at least one team just kind of, go for it all, risk it all. And who knows, it may have paid off so much that they could have just took their time on every task, and they would have been so far ahead of all the other teams,
Right.
But anyways, so start of the leg, teams were instructed to fly to Vienna, Austria, and then travel by train to Ljubljana, Slovenia. Once there, teams had to travel on foot to Congress Square, choose a marked car, and drive to Lese Bled Airport in order to find their next clue. And then in this leg's roadblock, one team member. So let's just basically, they all kind of they're all on equal footing. Mm-hmm. So then they had to drive one roadblock. One team member had to fly over Lake Bled in a glider, spot 4 boats with large numbers, and then arrange the numbers to form the year of Slovenian independence after returning to the airport before they could open a clipboard with their next clue. There's a lot to talk about here. We saw, we had the Greg and John, I believe, right? No. Actually, Goldberg's team of, Goldberg's team of Joel and Garrett were first.
Yeah. But
got it wrong.
Yep.
11.99.
I
really
thought the same thing. I was like, they're Robin Corey messed up, and so did Morgan and
Lena.
Lena. They messed up with this, and so did Robin and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Which they wrote. Robin and Chelsea wrote Morgan and Lena wrote like 1666 or something. And I was like, no, just no. Like, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, it's hard to kind of see in the binoculars on the plane. Okay, it's 9, so it's like 6s. But like, no one says that.
But even if doesn't normally like the 6 have the line on the bottom?
Sometimes
they do, not all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the 6 is kind of formed differently then. If that's not there to, I don't know. I don't know.
So, yeah, and you read and everybody reads left to right. So I don't know where these teams, where some of them got it. They were like, well, we're going to read right to left, and my thought when I was watching it was going, maybe the question will change. Maybe that's just the first one. Maybe there's another question. If I go back up there, maybe there's another question I can answer.
Right, exactly. And I knew, because we've seen this before, where if you don't get it, you get like a one shot. Mm-hmm. And then if you don't get it, you got to go do the whole thing over again. So
right.
Without going too much further, Steve and Annalee once again get lost.
Good God.
Mm-hmm.
Insanely too. Like not even close.
Yeah. How they survived this episode is beyond me.
Is honest. Stunning to me.
Yep. How Joel and Garrett survived this episode is beyond me.
Yeah.
They had a couple mistakes themselves, but man, Steve and Annalee somehow made it. Them not even being able to find the entrance. Like, do you think it was just because they were so frustrated that they were just not trusting their gut at all, and they're just trying to get like the instant gratification? Oh, here's the entrance, instead of just like trying to look for it.
Yeah, I didn't even go that far. I went, how can you not trust the people that live here? They're telling you where it is. Yeah. Forgetting about the fact, by the way, they can actually see the planes flying over them.
Yes.
Let's go over to the side of the room. We'll ask a guy on a bike just to make sure. When a person just told you 10 minutes ago where it was.
Right.
Which, by the way, they changed drivers at this point.
Yes.
Steve was driving.
Yes.
What?
I see the plane right over there. I don't know how to get in. How do we get in the entrance? We can't find it. And then they get to it, and then Annalie's like, Steve goes, "You want to do the task?" She's like, "No, I'm so frustrated. You go do it."
How about the weight? How about the weight restriction? The weight and height restriction. That was interesting. I was like, wow, that's because Todd really wanted to do it.
Todd was like the only one that couldn't do it. I thought him and Steve were comparable.
Which I didn't. I mean, obviously I couldn't. It didn't look like it was that heavy.
Yeah. So, no kidding. I was shocked. I don't know. That's weird, but it kind of forced Todd and Ashley's hand here. Ashley had to do it, and she got it right. But you're right. Everybody else got it right the first try, except for Morgan and Lena, and Joel and Garrett. So,
yep.
I don't know. I think I would have got that one right with the 4 numbers that were provided.
Yeah,
I would have got that.
I was like Rob. I'm like, it's 1999. I'm yelling at the screen without it. I've just seen the numbers and I put it together. I'm like, it's 1999.
Yes.
Like that's simple. I mean, there aren't a whole lot of countries that were founded before that, in the 1600s, right?
Correct.
I mean, there are, but not a lot.
Yes. So. Yes, I agree. I just 11.99. Wow. Yeah, that's really early. Oh man. 11, yeah. I wish Goldberg would be able to kind of talk about that because it's his own team. But hey,
right.
know. All right. After the roadblock, teams had to drive to the Planica Nordic Center in order to find their next clue. Their teams had to don cross-country skis and ski to the top of the indoor ski track in order to receive their next clue. Teams had the option of winning an express pass if they could climb to the top of the Letalnica Bratov Gorisic and then find a zip line and then ride a zip line back down. And then ultimately, we saw Rob and Corey win the express pass, which is going to expire at the end of leg 10. Oh man, this is the one, Todd and Ashley, right past it.
How do you miss? That's what I was yelling at the screen, going, "How do you miss it? It's right there."
I know. I couldn't believe it. They literally had about 10 feet that they could have saw this thing until it was bypassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they had like at least 10 yards where they could have, but their heads were looking to the right. They did not look to the left. They thought it was the ski slopes. It wasn't even by there. I just can't believe they blew a huge opportunity.
Well, so right, I thought, so I was like, when Greg and John got there, I was like, why are you going? Rob and Corey are halfway up at this point.
Yes.
You're never going to catch them.
And how are you going to pass them?
Yeah.
That stairwell wasn't that wide.
No. And I
don't even know unless like how would they even have passed them? I don't know how that would have worked. I don't know if they could like jumped off the stairwell and jumped and climbed back on. I don't know.
And then Steve and Annalise, well, we're just gonna go up there because there's an extra express pass. Oh, there's only one. You know that there's only one.
Yeah.
And it literally says express pass taken. At the bottom, written in Sharpie, express pass taken. So if they would have just read that sign, they would have
did the same thing. Yep.
Screw that. We can't go.
Yeah.
Now, so I thought that was one of the more interesting parts of the episode. Because if I'm the dude that's up at the top, well, fuck, you walked up here.
Yeah.
No, you don't get to zip line down. Walk your happy little ass down.
It was unbelievable that they just kept on. 2 teams missed it. I mean, they must have been tired at this point. That's the only logical explanation that they missed both of these because Wow. Just
Well,
wow.
yeah, but then Greg and John get halfway up there and they go, well, screw it, we're not going to catch them anyway. Like, yeah, they are physically fit and athletically fit to do it, but like, it took you to get halfway up there to go, we're not going to be able to catch them. I mean, I understood the beginning part where they were like, cool, I think we can catch them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you freaking saw how big and wide the steps were.
Yeah.
And you're climbing up the mountain.
Yeah. There's a lot of steps. I mean, obviously Rob had a tough time with it.
Oh yeah.
Corey
Yeah.
seemed all right, but
which that goes back to the preview for just half a second. That's what the tapping was. It was the express pass. So now that makes sense.
Yep.
You know?
So Rob and Corey get this thing.
Mm-hmm.
They were second to get there. Going forward, Rob and Corey they got to feel pretty confident going into the final three, I would think. Getting that thing.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
I don't think they're like one of the best Amazing Race teams we've ever seen. Not even close. I think in a different year they could get beat, but I mean they're not like dominating. You know, but the fact that they have that, I don't think they're gonna fail. If they have another bad leg, they're just all they gotta do is just here's your express pass.
Right.
Turn it in, you know?
Right.
So
I would expect them to get out of Slovenia without having to use it.
Yeah, I think you hold on to it as long as you can, unless it's do or die.
Right.
That's what I think you should do.
Right.
Will it happen? I don't know.
Right.
But you know, one thing to note though, like skiing up the hill, you know, obviously Ashley had trouble doing it, but
so did Lena and
Lena Morgan had trouble too. I mean, it definitely didn't look easy by any means, but you know,
Todd Ashley struggled with it too. Todd Ashley struggled.
Correct. Yeah, I mean Ashley. That's what I was saying. Ashley was, she struggled a lot. But you know, Steve fell too. Yeah, a lot of guys. I think Greg or John fell. One of them.
Yeah.
So it was not an easy task. But the one thing I was like, oh wow, you know, if you got that express pass, that took a while to get that thing. But you know, Rob and Corey, I almost thought like they would have got passed up a lot. And if you know. I was like, oh gosh, are they gonna have to burn this thing right away?
That's what I thought. I thought that, yeah. I was like, and they talked about it. They were serious about talking about it too. Yeah,
it's just crazy. Mm-hmm. But just kind of a cool thing to use to have to ski in the track to get your next clue. I thought that was interesting. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of like foot races on this one, a lot of changing of positions. That's what I think. Really made this episode what it was, and it was very entertaining. But all right. Then the detour, this leg's detour was a choice between field work or housework. In field work, teams had to place hay onto a hay rack in order to receive their next clue. In housework, teams had to assemble a apiary in order to receive their next clue. So that's apiary. Okay, bee yard. It's also known as a bee yard. But anyways,
right.
Which one are you picking here, Calbert?
Oh, I saw it right away, and I'm like, I'm doing housework because all I have to do is paint. All I have to do is I have to paint and you know make sure that it kind of matches.
Yeah.
The material is provided for me.
Right. You just got to build it and then paint it and then assemble basically correctly.
Right. I'm doing housework. No, Plus, I actually have hay fever, which I know that's not a thing. I think it was
a lot of teams.
Greg and John, one of them is actually allergic to hay. That's not really a thing. Like,
well, Corey broke out in hives too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He had to pull over for some Benadryl.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a thing. Like, I'm more allergic to like the ragweed and stuff like that, and dust and mold and stuff. But like, that's why it's called hay fever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing housework all day, and I, oh my god, and you had to stack it, and then it had to look nice and neat for the lady to check. Like you couldn't piece of hay hanging on the ground or anything. That's why I'm doing housework. So like, because I don't have to mess with the bees either. It's like I don't have to.
Yeah, that's true. At first, it almost made it seem like they were gonna have to do something with the bees, but they didn't.
Yeah. So I was going to do work. And that's the thing. Like, as long as you figured out like which side goes where, and then paint, that's pretty much it. So
yeah. That's something though. Then, well, for me, I mean, it kind of depends who I'm with again. Like, if somebody convinced me, hey, we can burn through this haystack, let's just do it. That's fine. Like, I'd almost like have it akin to shoveling snow with like picking it up. But I thought so I think this one would depend on who I'm with, but ultimately I could be convinced either way. The housework didn't look as hard as I thought it was going to be at first. So, I mean, either way I could go but field work though, thought it was funny that Robin and Chelsea were like, oh, Ashley's going to have a tough time. I don't think she's built for this. They got it done way faster than they did.
Right.
And it almost looked like Robin and Chelsea were trying to do the full one.
Yeah, they're going to stack it all the way. Yeah.
I mean, them, I was just like, what the heck? And so I don't know. That team just annoys me for whatever reason. But Todd and Ashley get out there first, and then after them is Greg and John, and then Rob and Corey, and then we got to talk about Steve and Anna Lee. They finally, after going to try to get the express pass when it's already been taken and walking all the way up, they just wanted to get to the next task. They kept saying how they were going to get eliminated the whole time. So Morgan and Lena obviously had to have trouble with the field work because, Steve and Anna Lee, once they got to housework, thought they did a pretty good job. And then you saw Joel and Garrett there, and they were able to kind of catch up to them because Joel forgot his notebook,
which was insane.
Yeah. There's no way Joel and Garrett win this. I just, there's no way. I don't see them winning this.
No.
Because they're just, there's too many mistakes with that team. And when it gets down to the nitty gritty, they're not going to be able to come back.
And they had, I mean, through the magic of television, like, they made it look like they were like, that, oh crap, we're only like a mile away, I have to go back and get my notebook. But I'm not 100% sure that that's how far it was, because it looked like it was a little bit further than that. Like they were cooking a little bit.
Yes.
Like, crap, I forgot my notebook.
They're lucky they forgot it right away, or closer to the detour. So
I thought that was kind of, I did kind of chuckle when they got there, which that's the thing too. Like, if Joel and Garrett are telling you like it's not over, don't think that.
Yeah.
And then when they get back, when they get the notebook, they go, well, I had so much fun, I thought I'd come back and get my notebook. Okay.
Yeah.
See you later. I did chuckle at that part, but
yeah. And then obviously navigation going to the pit stop. But the funny thing was, I gotta say this though. There was an additional note. Teams were provided with airplane and train tickets to Ljubljana, but were under no obligation to use them. So I thought that was interesting. So they could get their own ones, obviously, the faster ones if they could work it out.
Well, I think that's why they were attempting to try and do that when they got there. They were like, oh well, let's like there were some calculus going on there about trying to figure out, is it actually faster?
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, interesting there. And then after the detour, teams had to drive to Nebotiknik in Ljubljana and then climb up the staircase to the top of the building in order to find their next clue, which directed them to travel on foot to the pit stop, the Dragon Bridge. We heard
which, poor Rob, more steps.
Yes.
And it's a spiral staircase.
Yes.
I don't do
so many steps in this.
So many freaking steps. I was like, holy crap, that's just as bad. That's just as bad as getting the express pass.
So arriving to the mat first, we had a foot race between Todd and Ashley and Greg and John. It was, who knew who was going to win this one? But Greg and John get first place for the third week in a row. They are cooking right now. Second place, moving up one spot this week, Todd and Ashley from third to second. Third place, we have Rob and Corey. They moved up one spot from last week, and they have the Express Pass, so that's huge for them.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth, surprisingly, and moving up 3 spots is Joel and Garrett, despite some of the mistakes that they made. I guess even you could say despite the mistakes that Todd and Ashley made too. They still came in second. Coming in at 5th, moving down 3 spots is Robin and Chelsea. Coming in 6th, moving down 1 spot this week, Stephen and Lee. Not sure how they survived, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
And getting eliminated this week, we kind of saw this one coming. Morgan and Lena eventually leaving in 7th place. So, yep. I think Morgan was kind of the person to cost them, because
Mm-hmm.
he kept barking out orders to Lena while she was driving, and Lena was following them, but then Morgan would just like yell at her, you know, like turn right. And she turns right, and she's like, no, you were supposed to turn around. I'm like, but you never told me to turn around. You told me to turn. So that was something. Chris or Calbert, are you gonna miss this team at all?
Nope. Glad they're gone. We got it right. We got this part right for our power rankings. We both thought that Melina and Andrea would be gone the week before, and that this team and Morgan and Lena would be next. We got that right. So if nothing else, because we haven't gotten a whole lot else right as far as the power rankings go, glad they're gone. No more yelling. Figure out directions. I'm glad they're gone. Good.
Yeah.
One less team.
Yep, I agree.
Steven,
I agree.
If they want to be, that's fine with me.
Oh, I know. They're close. Trust me. Yeah. But some good material out of Steve. Yeah, sure. You know, come on. I thought he was gonna have a heart attack on it. I can't walk over this there no more. You know what I'm saying? Slow down there, Lee.
And I mean, the composure that he had to not just cuss her out while I'm standing. You made me walk up these entire freaking steps, and there's no express pass, and there's no express pass.
Oh,
what the actual heck?
She's totally like making every decision for this team. There's I mean, she has done like every single decision. He's just kind of following along. So she's really got nobody to blame. I know she uses him for directions, but she's putting like everything. She's making all the decisions. She's using him for directions, and then she's like spazzing out when it doesn't go her way, you know? So I don't know. She does not do well under pressure. Let's just say that.
No, she doesn't.
So, all right. So Calvert, what do you give this episode?
I gave this episode 7. I thought it was pretty good, considering it's a new country.
Yeah.
I liked the detour. I liked the express, the race to the mat and the race for the express pass. I thought was probably the 2 key cool parts of the episode. So yeah, I liked the episode. I gave it a 7.
Yeah, I actually going to give it an 8.5. I thought it was really good. The sights were great. There was a ton of different place switching. You had no idea really what was going to go on. Like, I almost thought Steve and Anna Lee were going to be done like right away. That did not happen. There was just, so many place switching, so many different like strategies in this episode. Like, should we take the train or should we go for the express? There's just a lot of different stuff. So yeah, I thought this was a really good episode. So I got to give it an 8.5. I could almost bump it to a 9, but 8.5, very solid episode. All right, let's go with power rankings. Let's start with number 6. Who do you got at 6?
So I fluctuated between 2 teams for this spot, but I gave it to 6. I gave it to Robin and Chelsea. It's just because I think their days are numbered.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve and Anna Lee are equally just as bad.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that Robin and Chelsea are just they've this is where they're at. They've been kind of generally towards the bottom for most of the show, so they don't really do anything. Still, that's why Goldberg's not here. They don't really do anything, and when you think another team can't do something, and then you get smoked by the other team doing it quicker than you did,
Yeah.
what does that say? So, I have Robin and Chelsea at 6.
Okay. I actually got. Yeah, this one's. I mean, it's kind of tough because you could go quite a few different teams here. Obviously, Steve and Annalee are struggling right now. They're struggling, and they're very lucky to still be in this. But honestly, I think I gotta go. If we're looking at the body of work right now, I think I gotta go Joel and Garrett at 6.
Okay.
They're just very forgettable. I mean, as far as like when they have that needle in the haystack challenge, they're super slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do we know about if they somehow get to the final challenge, which I don't think they will, but they're always forgetting something, or they can't find something. There's just too many things like the plane task too. Like they're one of the teams to get it wrong.
Right.
I got them at 6th. I don't know. I can't believe they took 4th this week. All right, you're number 5.
So 5, I have Joel and Garrett. It's pretty much the same thing that you said. I just had to put them somewhere because that's going to be their downfall. The forgetting of the notebook, the getting the year wrong. When you're the only team there, you're the only team there. How do you screw that up?
Yeah,
you forget your notebook. Okay, I'm going to give you a pass for the week before with having trouble with the code for the lock because there was a bunch of them. But still, attention to detail. You're not gonna be able to go, oh crap, I forgot my fanny pack. We're in wherever. Let's try and see if we can go back and get it. You're running out of time.
Yeah,
running out of time. So I have them at 5.
Number 5 for me, Steve and Annalee. Like they're just not getting their stuff together. I'll give them a little slight edge over Joel and Garrett because they've taken first a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know how much it would not surprise me if they go out next episode. It really wouldn't. I think there's going to be some, I don't think any of the teams that were shown in the preview are going out because those were top 3 teams.
Right.
I think all 3 of those teams are going to be fine. I think it's going to be between these 3 teams. But Steve and Annalee, I don't know how much more, comedy gold we're going to get out of Steve. He's trying. I mean, he had to walk all those steps just like, Rob did. And Annalee is very, very stubborn. And I don't think that's going to last too long. So I got them at 5. All right. Who's your number 4?
4, I have Steve and Annalee. It's pretty much for the same reason you said. I'm surprised that they're still here.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that they finished first a couple times, that's the only reason why I have them at 4. I don't think they're going to win. Just kind of like Joel and Garrett. Because I mean, Steve may damn near have an aneurysm if he has to listen to Annalee for any more period of time.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so I got them in 4, and that's the thing. Like the game, this race is also a mental thing, and so if you let the game get in your head, which clearly the game is in Annalee's head, and it's got some rent free in her head.
Yes.
So I got them at 4.
Okay. Number 4, Robin and Chelsea. This team has they're like the cockroach of the Amazing Race. They've stuck around. But I got them at 4 because they have had some good victories and they've done decent at times. So I can't take that away from them. However, the comments like, oh, Ashley's not going to do well, and then they don't even know how to do the task right.
Right.
Or, there's just stuff like that.
Right.
So I just, I don't know. I don't see them sticking wrong. I could see them getting eliminated next episode, but they've made it this far. So got to give them that, I guess. Who do you got at 3?
3, I have your team, Ashley and Todd. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, contrary to what Goldberg believes. They've been consistent the entire time.
Yes.
Todd
Highest finish ever for them this
Todd
week.
would have gotten the year right away if he would have been able to be in the play.
Correct.
So I got them at 3.
Also, the fact that they do have a or they finished second, which was their highest, standing for the race. So, but yeah, they're super consistent. Number 3, I could go either way here because I think they have a legitimate argument against Rob and Corey, even though Rob and Corey got the Express, but that could have been Todd and Ashley's. But I am going to go Todd and Ashley for that fact that they, overlooked the Express Pass. They, there's just, I think Ashley struggles with maybe like stamina at times, which Rob kind of does too. So I don't know. It's tough to say, but I got them at 3. I don't think they're in trouble next week. I think that's just a smokescreen, but I could be wrong. But I do want to say that I do think these are the 3 that are going to be in the finals. So unless something crazy happens, who knows? But I think these 3 teams that we are having our top 3 are going to be in the final 3. So Calbert, number 2.
2, I have Rob and Corey, and the reason why I have them at 2 is not only because A, they're consistent, but B, they got the Express Pass. That's going to change everything. And they're going to use it when they absolutely positively. I agree with you. I think they use it when they absolutely positively have to.
Yep.
So that will give them enough to pass over some of these other teams, and give credit to Rob. Like he struggled with those with both staircases, but he finished them both.
Yes.
So I got them at I got Rob and Corey at 2.
Okay, yeah, they have not had a first place victory yet, so but they could easily have it once they use that Express Pass. So, number 2 for me, Rob and Corey. I have it pretty close with Todd and Ashley, but I'm putting them at 2 because they got the Express. They're riding a pretty high momentum right now, but they did take 3rd, but that half the reason was because they did go and get the Express Pass. So maybe they probably finished a little higher than that. But yeah, I got them at 2. Obviously, we both have the same number 1, obviously.
And it's Greg and John, and they can almost start to. I mean, with the exception of this week for it being close, they can almost start to put their name on the check. I think they're that good. Not quite. No, a few more weeks to go.
Yeah,
but they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're looking real strong. They're my number 1. They won this week because of a foot race.
Yeah,
but foot race is half the battle, right?
Right.
So they're gonna win on foot race. They got the stamina. They got the youth on their side. It'll be interesting to see though. We're like, this is the point where we start seeing some teams. They start. I don't know. They go in like a slump. So are they gonna hit that slump like we've seen some other teams hit, or are they just going to keep on coasting to these first place victories? Because they got 3 in a row right now. So
right.
They are the team. They are definitely the top team right now. There's no question. The only thing that could change it is the Express Pass, but that's not going to last till the finals. So, they might get a legger here or there, but who knows? I think the bigger question is, can any of those 3 teams in the back, can they move up into the top 3? I think that's kind of what we're looking at here, because right now, to me, we have a cut and dry top 3.
Sure. Yeah.
That's kind of how it looks to me.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree with that.
So, I don't know. We'll see, but I don't think Joel and Garrett can do it. Steven and Ali have shown that they can get to the top, but the way they're racing right now is not looking good. And Robin and Chelsea, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, they started off so poorly and they're starting to do better now, but there's something about them that I just can't put them up higher. So
right, they're running out of that. That's kind of like last week where I said about Joel and Garrett. They're running out of legs.
yes.
So like, oh, you can survive in advance, but like you're running out of time.
Yes.
So the making fun of other teams and not giving any hints to another team to try and help them try and finish the task, like that's cute at the beginning.
Yep.
It's now when you're, cool. I'm not here to make friends. I'm trying to win. Well, yeah. So is everybody else. Thanks.
Right.
So let's talk about next week's episode. Next week's episode is called, or tomorrow's episode, sorry, is called "In the Belly of the Earth." Teams carry on into Slovenia with cave spelunking and dragon-themed challenges. So that's what we got looking forward for tomorrow. So so we stay in Slovenia, and we're gonna be in a cave. So that'll be fun. Should be interesting.
Yeah, that will be. I mean, I don't know. Like, we did see the bickering. It looks like Todd and Ashley take a scenic route to get to one of the tasks. So maybe that does cost them. Who knows? Or maybe that's just a small, quick blurt and they're back on the main course. Who knows? This could go either way. Obviously, the last time this happened, the team that, was in trouble they weren't in trouble at all, basically. So,
right.
Yeah. So who knows? But I am looking forward to another Slovenia episode, especially in caves. That looks kind of cool.
And dragon themed. So it looks like they have to, like, from the preview, it looks like they might have to, like, build a dragon, something like that. Use a dragon for something, because that's part of it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if we look at the episode list right now, we got 16 left. Oh, okay. So now they've changed it to only 4 more episomes. So
my question was going to be, do you think somebody gets eliminated tomorrow? Was going to be my question. I'm stealing Goldberg's weekly questions since he's not here. Do you think somebody gets eliminated tomorrow?
I'm trying to mathematically do it in my head here. So if we got episode 9, we got 6 teams left. Let's just say one team gets eliminated, right? So we got 5 teams going to leg 10. Let's see, one team gets eliminated there. We got 4 teams going to. Oh yeah, I don't think we are getting another non-elimination because they got rid of that episode 13 on here.
Right.
I think we are getting eliminations from here on out.
So let's count this out. So Slovenia, I'm not going to try and. I could ruin it, but I won't do that to you. I know where they're going to finish. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. I know what state they're going to finish in. I should say it that way. Mm-hmm. So we got Slovenia, we got Sweden, and then we have Ireland before they head back to the United States. So Sweden and Ireland are still left. So we're on episode. This is going to be episode 9, correct?
Yes.
So let's just assume then that they theoretically stay in Sweden for probably, well, obviously at least an episode, possibly 2. But if they don't do it there, Sweden for 1, Ireland for 2, and then they fly home from Ireland. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're going to fly home from Ireland to finish. I can tell you that it's going to be on where they finish is in the northwest part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. So I mean, if you're right, what they could, this has all the makings then of a possible, like, 4 teams finish. Let's all go to, we'll all race in the finale. Let's see who wins. So your non-elimination thing may still be in play, possibly.
Yes.
I think a team gets eliminated in Slovenia tomorrow.
I don't think there's going to be another.
You don't think so?
Because if you do the math, we got 6 teams and 4 episodes.
4 episodes, yeah. So
we're going to have them eliminated every leg unless they carry 4 teams to the finish line, which they've done that in the past. But
4, yep.
I don't see it. I think we're going to get. I don't think anyone's safe from here on out. So it's kind of do or die.
Right.
So I don't know. Wow, it's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the top 3 is going to be, but if Goldberg wins, there's something fishy. I'm just telling you that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may have to readjust how we do this. We'll just that. But we'll see. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Amazing Reviews. We will be back. I don't know when. This is Thanksgiving week, so try to hopefully do it sooner. But if you're listening, you're used to this schedule, so hopefully you keep listening. And we'll be back to review episode 9. Any final comments, Calbert?
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for listening, everybody. See you guys next week.
Yes. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week.